Hello everybody, Captain Marty here. It is Wednesday, June the 24th. Still down in Hatteras, watching the wind blow. We had everybody get blown out in the Marlin Club tournament, but more about that when we get to the standings here at the end of today's segment. But we will talk to you about what else did happen, and it was minimal, kind of scrappy. That's why we say today we're going to the scrapyard. So stay right where you're at, and I'll be right back. Hey y'all, Captain Marty here to tell you that when my friends are in the market for a new boat engine, repair, or repower, I send them to the best in the business, and that's at Ratcliffe Marine in Belhaven. Ratcliffe Marine is your official Honda outboard dealer. Honda motors are designed to get you on the water fast and get you back to the dock safely and quickly. Ratcliffe Marine is best known as the largest repower center in North Carolina. So when you're in the market for a new motor or you need your Honda service, go to Ratcliffe Marine, 865 Highway 264, Belhaven.
Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village is the closest spot on the Outer Banks to the Gulf Stream. Just inside Hatteras Inlet, Teachers Lair is fully loaded with bait, tackle, ice, snacks, and drinks for your fun-filled day out on the water. Want to get rigged up to catch the big one? Lee and the gang in the tackle shop can outfit you to catch whatever is eager to get hooked. To see the marina, the tackle shop, or to book a charter, go online to teacheslair.com. Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village. Your fishing venture awaits.
So the Hatteras offshore fleet did not even get a chance to go to the scrapyard. They stayed tied to the dock, and I did not get any reports of really anybody fishing today. Could have been a backcountry boat or two, but if they did, I could not find any evidence that they did. So we'll let that one go. We'll call that a scratch for yesterday and probably for today as well. More about that when we get to the tournament report at the end of today's segment. The Oregon Inlet fleet got a fleet out, but it was rough. And I talked to a few of them. Some of them quit early and came in, just got tired of bouncing around. But there were a few white marlin caught in the fleet up there. There was a few yellowfin tuna caught scrapping around, and then one boat actually hit the bluefin tuna, which is pretty surprising. Anyway, but all of them got back to the dock before all those squalls came through and brought us some much-needed rain. Really glad to see that. Around Oregon Inlet, they've been catching Spanish and blues and triggerfish, primarily. No sign of the ribbonfish yet. I meant to ask somebody yesterday where they are. They were crowd pleasers for that inshore, nearshore fishery. They're those long, skinny, toothy-looking fish. They jump out of the water, but they're really good to eat. I didn't see how they could be, but I tried some at Sea Chef Restaurant at the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. It was mighty good. I'd eat it again, and in fact, I'd actually recommend you giving it a try. Those are ribbonfish. Triggerfish, too, best fish in the ocean. And you get a chance to try any of them, you want to do that as well. In the surf, Hatteras had a mix, that's 60 miles of beach, and it applies to Ocracoke as well, which is another, 15, 18 miles of beach. And even from Oregon Inlet up, it was croaker, sea mullet, and Spanish mackerel with, this is in the surf, with a few bluefish. But all in all, the bluefish and puppy drum have scaled back a little bit, and it's primarily people fishing on the bottom for croakers and sea mullet and spot, and then a few people on metal lures are catching some Spanish mackerel. They've actually been biting pretty good, which is a little unusual when they bite better than the bluefish do. So that's what we had for the surf. Jeanette's Pier, I love to watch their monitoring of the temperature. They had an upwelling. All the beaches north of Hatteras, of Cape Hatteras, the Cape Point, had upwellings, which pushed that warm water off. The cold water came up from underneath. Jeanette's Pier had 66 degrees. Pretty cool temperature. But Rodanthe Pier, which is on the north side of Cape Point, they actually had 77 degrees. So there's an 11-degree water temperature change from Jeanette's down to Rodanthe. But all in all, it's just the same mix we were talking about on the surf. Spanish mackerel, croakers, sea mullet, bluefish, and if you're lucky, a drum. So that's all we had from the surf or the pier. We'll take a little break here because I don't have much to talk about in the backcountry, but I will bring you up to date on what did happen in the Marlin Club tournament and what's likely to happen over the next few days.
Wake up to the sights and sounds of the Atlantic at Colonial Inn Motel in Nags Head. This oceanfront property offers a variety of comfortable guest rooms and spacious apartments, making it a great choice for couples, families, and extended beach vacations. Located right next to Nags Head Pier, you're just steps away from fishing, dining, and some of the best ocean views on the Outer Banks. Spend your days relaxing on the beach or cooling off in the outdoor pool before enjoying a beautiful coastal sunset. Go online to visit obx.com. Colonial Inn Motel is your gateway to a classic OBX escape.
All right, the backcountry report. They were definitely in the scrapyard. Pamlico Sound is the scrapyard. Really, I've heard some pretty gloomy reports, but I learned from Captain Dickie Harris. He got the nickname Boot Lip because he would get out there offshore fishing on his boat, the Fantastic, and when it was slow, he'd complain and whine and complain. Everybody gave him the nickname Boot Lip, but every time he did, it changed his luck. And he'd get out there complaining, and somebody said, well, get ready, you're going to hit him. And sure enough, within a few minutes, he always did. So that's probably why he complained so much. But I've heard quotes about how slow it is back in the Sound right now. A little bit of a pickup for the wader fishermen, but there's not many of them trying it on the backside of Hatteras Island. And I haven't heard anything else about the back of Ocracoke or the around Roanoke Island at all. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't go give it a try. It's the right time of the year. Water temperatures in the Sound are warming up. And there's been a little bit of activity, but not a whole lot of activity. So we'll move on to the report for the 67th annual Hatteras Marlin Club Billfish Release Tournament. All billfish, are released. And 54 boats fished on Monday, or are in the tournament. Not all of them fished on Monday. So they got Monday through Friday that they can fish, and they actually fished 3 out of 5 days. The bulk of them did take that first day, and all of them laid in yesterday. I feel pretty sure at this time of day that all of them laid in today as well. So the bulk of the fleet, all but one boat, will fish Thursday and Friday to give them their second and third days. With the wind coming around out of the northeast, that should make these billfish bite a little bit better. And it looks good for Thursday and Friday. So we're at the Hatteras Marlin Club in Hatteras Village, kind of tucked in behind the red and white there in the heart of the village. And really enjoying riding around, seeing old friends, hanging out at the club, having breakfast with everybody today while they're all blown in. That brought me back a lot of memories. Was one of my favorite things about being a charter boat captain. You didn't want it to happen too often, but the good thing about that job is you never knew when you're going to have a free day off or a day off. And the wind would blow and you were planning on working all day, but you get to go home and play with the kids or with mama or whoever you want to play with, the gardener. It doesn't really matter, but they all got to lay in. Now, of course, the first day of a blow is the day you get all your oil changes done and maintenance and work on tackle and all those things. I talked to Joey Belton on the haphazard. He was primarily straightening up the boat, doing a little bit of interior cleaning. But the second day, which would be today, and it is a family day at the Hatteras Marlin Club, they'll be by the poolside. They'll be playing horseshoes, cornhole. They'll be doing all kinds of things out along the dock at the Hatteras Marlin Club. And I'll be right there in the middle of them, and I will bring you all the standings as we wind up the tournament on Thursday and Friday. So go out and wet a line. You're not going to catch them in the motel room, and let the good Lord bless you richly.